Few people
Italian,
have
French,
it's kind of
all
just
mixed
its
in
own
one.
thing, bro. I don't even think it's French or like. Why do you think it's Italian?
Well, I just think we have like a lot of
I like Giulio.
yes, and yeah,
That doesn't really sound Italian.
Orchis, pastas.
Ted Jones messed with the wrong melon farmers.
Ted Jones, I also call him the eighth wonder of the real estate world.
Ted Jones, who knows? You know, it could be
Ted Jones?
The Ted Jones World Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of the Ted Jones World Podcast. I am your host, Ted Jones, with our co-host over there, Pat Charmel, and a lovely guest to the left of me, to the right of you on the screen, Giulio Gallarotti. Everybody, give a little bit of a warm welcome for Giulio. Pat, can we get a hand here? Wow, ooh, that was impressive. Pat goes to a lot of baseball games, so he's had a number of times to practice that. So Giulio Gallarotti is our first guest here on the Ted Jones World Podcast.
It's an honor.
Giulio,
It's an honor.
really, thank you for joining us.
It's a goddamn honor, boys.
We appreciate it. Giulio actually has a podcast of his own with Francis, and Francis' last name Ellis.
Francis' last name is Ellis.
Francis Ellis, funny dude. They have a podcast called Oops, and that is available via Apple Podcasts, and they have a YouTube channel as well. So we're not competing over here, boys, but that's definitely something to listen to after this one, the Oops podcast. So Giulio, what's up? What's up, man? How you been?
Dude? I'm good.
I mean, I'm just super excited to finally get a discussion of ours, I guess, recorded on video and via podcast. It's gonna be great, man.
It's gonna be good. I'm gonna get you, dude. Poor Charmel, man.
Why?
Just in the rafters. Just anybody who wonders what Charmel looks like, he's a good-looking guy.
No,
he's not
oh my
on
God.
camera.
I'm in the cut. That's where I belong.
He's a great looking guy.
He
man.
likes being in the cut.
But you know, I think he likes being mysterious, and he doesn't mind being in the background and doing a ton of work behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and a ton of work.
all the work.
We
asterisks,
appreciate that.
Everything.
Well, a lot of it.
Okay,
we appreciate it.
Okay.
You get star power like Ted Jones, you too.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I'm just
work in
honored
itself.
to be in his presence and to be working on this project with him.
We all are more than willing to share the spotlight with each other. That's for sure. One thing I just wanted to talk about, Giulio, we've had a lot going on in the political world, and elections are coming up. So I just flat out, I'm going to ask you: do you think Donald Trump should be impeached at this point during his presidency, or what are you thinking?
Dude, I don't even know, man. To be honest, I mean, it's seeming like this one is much different than the Russia thing because he is directly involved. Whereas before it was his advisor, his lawyer, his this and that. This is like his direct involvement, his direct conversation. Is it enough to impeach? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like that. I mean, just having the full transcript that Donald Trump had on the phone with the Ukraine prime minister.
Right.
Just an insane situation that we've actually caught him red-handed, and he's still kind of blaming the Democrats. So who knows if this is going to go the full way. And also Donald Trump has to show his tax returns, which he's been trying to avoid for an extremely long time now. But a big New York real estate guy, and I thought he was actually pretty cool before he started running for president. Like there was a time and place where he announced when he was going to run for president, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of funny, if Donald Trump was president. I think he could do it. He seems like a more than capable guy. But then once he just started really getting into it, and he's just so mean, dude. Like it's one thing, it's one thing to be like super powerful and just very intimidating, but he's just not nice, dude. Just kind of a dick.
He's a mean guy.
Is he not?
I mean, dude, Donnie T, this is the thing about him, man. Like, you ever see Home Alone 2? This is my only reference of Donald Trump before, I was of age to know. He's, in it, and he was a stud back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
He was,
dude, the Taj Mahal, he had insane boxing matches at this hotel.
He was the, young, rich kid guy who was good looking, who like probably was the fucking man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he could go out, party, hook up with any girl he wanted. Like you could tell he was like that guy.
Right.
You know
He would just grab girls by the P word, as he described himself.
Take them
Dude,
furniture
I love
shopping.
your guys' self-proclaimed wholesome podcast where you don't.
I think
swear.
I don't think we're not.
proclaim
I'm not
that at all.
okay, then whatever. I'm not self-proclaiming it. I'm just saying I think it's a little bit nicer to listen to if somebody's not cursing all the time. Except for which podcast I do listen to where I do curse a lot is Call Her Daddy with those two girls. I think that podcast is very funny. Those girls are very vulgar. They curse, but I think they make it work.
I think you can make it work.
Well, I can make it work, but also I think we're not having a tough time here finding other words.
Why don't you try
Teddy
it?
is the Will Smith of podcasting.
Yes, exactly.
Say
I'm gonna
one
be
curse without a curse.
I'm gonna be middle of the line, and then just get into beef with a cursing podcast.
Why don't you just say a curse right now? Just see how it feels. See how.
I mean, what?
See if
I don't
it works.
think anything calls for me cursing right now.
You can beep it.
If I can say shit.
Wow.
All right, but see what
How'd
was
it
the
feel?
context of that? That actually did feel pretty good, and it was a strong curse too. Julio,
we're not done talking about Donnie T, dude. All right,
all right. Well, I'm sorry. I wanted to get on to other questions about you, bro, because we're all interested in what you've got going on in your life. But if you want to keep talking about Donnie T, tell me. Oh, dude, what was that dumb joke I had about you? So stupid.
You used to say that I was hooking up with Donnie T's daughter.
Yeah, I don't know. That was something that
Teddy
I
and I-
told
What a rich joke.
Yeah.
Teddy and I
Such a good joke.
love lying, like to each other and just in
Yeah.
general. But we enjoy lying to each other about things, and then either we let it ride or we don't.
Yeah,
that's
but
a-
sometimes, dude, there's also times where we'll both like commit to a lie.
It's very hard. Yeah.
And like we'll typically end up like on the person on the other side has no idea if we're actually like telling the truth or not.
We still have some that are up in the air.
We definitely still have some. Funny. Okay. Julia, so what's going on in your comedy career, man? So I told the listeners last week at the end of the episode just briefly that you've been doing comedy for a number of years. I think it's probably got to be 12 years by now, something like that. Maybe starting 12
close.
years ago, you know what I mean? Something
Maybe
like that.
not that long, but definitely over 10.
Okay. Well, and just in terms of your daily routine and going to shows, multiple times a day sometimes, what is that kind of mindset for you? Like going to, a different comedy club every single night in the city. Do you like have a place that you really feel comfortable at? Do you feel like you want to get to a certain stage that you haven't been at? What's kind of your mindset in terms of where you're at in terms of your comedy career?
I don't know, man. I would guess it's one of those things where, some days you think you're doing great and
Right.
some days you don't think you're doing great. And then some days you're like, all right, I'm doing all right.
Well, would you think that you feeling whether you're doing great or not depends on like a set that you may have had like the night before or like
it
the
helps.
venue that you go to?
It definitely helps. The venue, maybe, if it's like some place that is not a place I get to go often, but it's awesome. Like maybe I'll feel good. It's like one of those kind of things where you could definitely feel good and boosted from a good set. The same way that if you have a shitty one, you feel like you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And I think that most comedians that I know, at least, would agree that that's a thing that they experience.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's very kind of fragile, your mind state about how you're doing, because it's the type of thing you're alone a lot. And in the middle of the day, you know what I mean? You're kind of have to fill your time and you can do whatever you want with that. You can try to keep busy, you can do whatever. And then at night, you're theoretically doing shows and it can be kind of lonely.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to kind of try to keep a even keel kind of situation.
No, and definitely, and you're fully responsible for your time. You know what I mean? Like nobody's really accounting for like fully what you're doing, so you have to
Unless
make sure that you're keeping busy.
100%. Unless though you're working on something, or if you get some kind of regular gig, which is always a nice thing.
Right. Well, actually, speaking of regular gig, or I don't know how regular this is, but you've been opening for Pete Davidson a lot
I have
recently.
been a little bit, yeah. It's been fun.
Cool. And Pete is actually good friends with Ricky Velez, who you introduced me to. He's also my boy, who is getting married in a month or so.
I know.
We're super pumped for him. So congrats on that, Ricky Velez. I've never met Pete, but seems like a very funny kid, and I've heard his stand up, and he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Dude. The wedding's gonna be fun, dude. So I'm officiating the wedding.
Oh yeah, G is the what is your title though? The
Officiant.
Reverend.
The officiant.
So So what kind of wedding is it? Is it a religious service?
I mean, no, but it is what it is. But I'm getting business cards made, dude. They're on the way.
So what is that? Why?
I'm gonna read them to you because it's gonna be funny. At the wedding, I'm just gonna hand them out, being like,
Are you gonna actually try and get gigs now?
Like, no. But if somebody wanted to hire me and pay me a shit ton of money, I would definitely do it. But let's see. I have it. All right, Giulio.
It's like a side gig,
side hustle.
Dude, you can put this into the video if you want.
Sure.
Giulio the Big Cat Gallarotti. Upscale wedding officiant.
That's your name on the card.
You do the smooching, I do the paperwork. You like that?
I like that.
Competitive rates, all faiths welcomed. At Not Julio, tell your friends. And then there's 2 conjoined wedding bands.
Do you have a picture of this business card yet?
Yeah.
We'll put it up on the...
Oh man, that's good.
Giulio the
That's
Big Cat.
cute.
You like that?
Yeah, dude.
I think a lot.
It is good.
Maybe some of the older women there will get a thrill.
Oh,
Tell you what, man, I have a girlfriend now, and it's great. But
yes, she is great. Also,
she's
Mind that.
fantastic.
She is great, Hillary.
If I didn't
Great.
have a girlfriend and I was going down there as the wedding officiant, I like to think I would have a good shot at some of the single ladies.
You definitely would, man. You absolutely would.
Making love happen, executing love.
So Giulio, a very loving guy, and that's one of the reasons I fell in love with him. Giulio and I actually, we first met. I'd
On
say
Tinder.
before Tinder, bro.
Okay.
So I'd say about how many years ago, bro?
We met
now 15.
Yeah.
15 years ago,
15
I met
years ago.
Giulio at the tennis club. We were playing tennis at the same club, and we just linked, man, and it was great. Giulio was also one of the only other competitive tennis players at this club we were playing at. So it was fun. We had a lot of late night battles during the summer under the moonlight. So that was both romantic and competitive.
So when did you actually fall
Late
in
night
love?
battles under the moonlight sounds like
I think
just
that's
passionate lovemaking.
I
Late
mean,
night
we were
battles.
playing tennis, so there were a couple games that involved love.
Is that what you call it?
the grunting-
Tennis.
The grunting got a little loud.
Oh yeah, Charmel actually had a question about that. He was like, "Dude, I was watching a little bit of tennis. This was like a couple weeks ago. He's like, I was watching a little tennis recently, and when you play tennis, dude, do you do that groaning noise? Or like, well, what's up with that?" And dude,
Like, why don't golfers do it? Or when a baseball player hits a baseball?
They
Golfers
do.
might.
And
No,
also,
no, they
dude,
don't.
I'm not kidding.
I
Went
promise.
hold on. Went
Not
to
that loud.
Went to a Mets game one
You
time.
can't hear it.
Do you guys remember
I've been close.
Al Leiter, the submarine pitcher, the lefty?
He wasn't a submarine pitcher.
He was a sidearm. He was not. Maybe he wasn't
No, he
submarine.
wasn't,
He
I
was a
don't think.
sidearm. Yeah, he was. Look this up.
Al Leiter.
Al
I'm pretty sure
Leiter.
he was not.
Anyway,
He was a lefty.
I was sitting relatively close, and the guy was grunting like a beast every single pitch he was throwing, like hard. So I think athletes definitely do grunt, but in tennis,
It's louder.
there's a lot
They
more
mic
grunting.
the court so you can hear the ball too.
And I also think why tennis players are grunting so much more than other athletes is tennis players are moving, hitting. Moving, hitting. So
Right.
moving, like doing more energy after you've already express all this energy after you're.
Well, it's the same thing when you lift weights, dude. When you lift weights, you're supposed to breathe out. But if you're all loud, you're that guy in the gym who's loud, and nobody wants to be that
Right.
guy. You know what I mean? Although now everybody has their headphones in these days.
Yeah.
But those
True.
big power lifters, they're making a shit ton of noise.
Dude,
Yeah, they're all at Blink.
Yeah, no, you know what? I was talking about that
Really?
with Charmel, and also, dude, the amount of times I said freaking last episode too, I might have to start cursing because I said freaking like 8 times at least. I was counting.
Switch it up.
Blink
Freaking
fitness.
instead of F. But anyway, Giulio was talking about meatheads pounding weights, and I was saying that happens a lot at Equinox, not a Blink. Blink, it's just very quiet and subtle. But you know what? People don't really hear it anyways because of, like Giulio was saying, the AirPods in the ears. And dude, I had a question. One of the other podcasts, I can't remember which episode, but the AirPods, kind of don't feel like they're in your head at all. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it is crazy.
You'll definitely lose them or like think that you misplaced them, like having goggles on your head when you're in the pool and you're looking for goggles, something like that.
Right.
So, question I wanted to know, since the iPhone now they're saying is waterproof, are AirPods waterproof? Do you test this theory yet?
I don't think they are.
Not full, like maybe not fully. I'm
Wait,
not asking.
what
but
theory though? Is the theory that they're
That-
waterproof?
It's either they
Yeah.
are.
Is that your theory?
No. I'm saying the theory of these Apple products being waterproof.
No, I think they only claim that the phone is waterproof.
So
Right.
that's a theory,
So-
right?
Right. But I don't know about I don't think anyone's ever claimed the AirPods are waterproof.
No, I don't
though.
think so.
But
But
with the phone, I agree. I don't know, and they've always been saying it's waterproof.
Yeah.
But,
But I'm not testing that.
Oh, I
That's
threw
like a $1,000 test.
I've been in the pool with my phone.
it's fine.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
like in your pocket and like? And
No, I
you
brought it in there just to like
mess with it.
film our, the fun we were having in the pool, and it was submerged in water and it was fine.
All right, well, I'll let that weird thing go. But what do you like? What was the occasion? Like, were you taking pictures underwater, or what actually happened?
I was taking a video.
Underwater or outside?
Yeah,
of the
underwater.
Water? You were taking a video underwater
What
with an iPhone.
The 8?
No, it was yeah. The first one that they
was the
claimed was
first one
waterproof.
they said, yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's potentially a life-changing thing. Just
You didn't know it's been
No,
it's been
I didn't know
waterproof
you
for a
play
while.
with your friends underwater filming videos.
AirPods.
That's cool. We got to try that.
I hate AirPods for a couple of reasons, though. I hate how they die. And like the catch you hear
dude,
boop, 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 you're like,
That's so annoying.
Yeah.
sorry. And
They
didn't
charge
even know-
fast.
yeah, I didn't
They
even
charge
know.
really
They
fast.
do.
that is true, but
They
also
don't.
when you're talking to somebody on the phone with them, you pick up every noise.
Really?
So stuff is louder on the other end than it is even for you. Like a truck going by will
Probably
make the other
because they
person go
put
deaf.
like whatever the gain equivalent is in headphones really high because
so
if they're
you
not
can-
close to
exactly.
your mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm on
So
my.
it's picking up a lot of stuff.
I'm on my
Smart.
second pair of AirPods right now. Are
You lost a pair? I'm still on my
You're
first.
still in your first, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive. What about you, Pat? You on your first still?
No, we've talked about this. I have.
You're on your second.
Well, I have the same
We did talk about this.
earbuds, but I
Yeah.
lost the 2 cases.
Oh, that's annoying.
So I just have. I
How
can't
much are the
charge them.
cases? Can
They're
you
like
buy?
$80. I went to the Apple store the other day and they're $80.
And how much are
I turned right
AirPods?
around, like 150 maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know what I've also seen is they have fake AirPods now that
Yeah, they sell them on
they
Broadway.
light up. They light up like green and blue. So whenever I'm at the classic gym, Blink,
Mm-hmm.
people are looking extra fresh with the light up AirPods. So they're paying less and they look sicker.
Dude, by the way, I apologize that Ethan sent you guys a rider for me. I'm like, dude,
No, I know. We assumed he was
asked-
joking. We assumed he was joking.
We asked for.
I don't
one.
think he was kidding.
we asked for one.
Oh,
We wanted to make it like a, and then judge you based on what you had on your rider.
Yeah, it
That's
wasn't. It
hilarious.
wasn't like that intense. Okay, so Giulio's assistant actually sent over a rider of things that he wanted.
no, it's not what I
want.
want. It's just like my standard thing. Like,
Right.
if I'm on the road.
Sorry. Jesus. So like his standard.
I thought it was
rider,
a joke because
when
it was
he-
like. It was like Julio's girlfriend is very allergic to almonds, so no,
Oh yeah, she
no
is.
nuts.
That's hilarious. Did he say it good?
It was funny. I thought he was joking, but
No,
that's
my
good that
girlfriend
he puts
is
it
like
in there.
she is severely allergic to cashews. Like if I
Oh,
eat
really?
a cashew and kiss her, she can die.
She got an EpiPen.
Yeah, so like I don't eat cashews anymore. And I used to love them, dude. I used to go over E-Mark's,
Oh, my
Teddy's
God.
dad's house, and I would just clean out the cashews, man. I would eat all the cashews.
I've really never seen anyone eat as many cashews as this man sitting to the left.
Dude, should we call him and give him a hard time?
Yeah, because I want to see if this guy's real or not.
Okay, let's call him.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Let's
We're
call
gonna
him.
call Ethan right now.
Yeah,
All right. Is he gonna pick up?
I hope so.
So this is Ethan Wexler, Giulio's assistant.
Hello?
Hey, Ethan.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. How's your night going?
It's good, man. It's good. We actually got you live on the pod right now.
Yo, Ethan, what's up? It's Teddy, man. How's it going? You're live on the Ted Jones World podcast.
Dude, why are you? Listen, in the future, you don't have to send riders when I'm doing my friends' shows.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I thought, you asked me before. I didn't know he's your friend. I just thought
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just messing with you. Don't worry about it. But yeah, just let me know when you finish booking those flights.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll send the
Flex.
confirmation soon. Confirmation number. I'll see. I got it all covered.
All right, you're the man. You're the man. All right, thanks, buddy.
You have a great night.
All right, you too, man. See ya.
What a nice kid.
He's a nice kid, dude. He's a good kid.
He's a nice guy.
You know, it's good. Like, I feel like sometimes when you have a person working in that capacity with you, it can be weird because they will start to want to like be your boy and they get pissed that they're working for you. And that's always kind of weird.
Definitely.
But we maintain like a good thing. And I think he's going to do good things, man. He's on his way.
And he's looking to be in the comedy field maybe one day as well, or looking to be more of a manager like he is with you, or what?
Well, I mean, he's not a manager. He kind of just like helps me do my stuff. But I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. I think he wants to do some sort of maybe comedy related thing. I think he's thinking about going to law school. He's a sharp kid, man. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for him.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Shout out Ethan.
Shout out Ethan. Giulio, so just for some of the single people listening in on the podcast, Hillary's a great girl, one of my good friends for sure. But just in the years you've been in the city, I know you've been to a ton of restaurants, ton of bars, ton of comedy shows. What would you recommend that, let's say a guy wanted to impress this girl who he just met on a dating app and take her out on a date? What do you think the ideal date is? Where should they go to get drinks, get dinner, and then go to a comedy show? So give me all three if you can.
Well, I heard this one time from my therapist when I used to have my first shrink I ever went to. This guy was the man. His name was Adam. He was like, I was trying to go out with this girl, and I was trying to think of a cool date, and he gave me the greatest date idea that I never did, but I think I would like to do it someday.
And you still haven't done it?
I haven't done it because Hillary, who's my girlfriend, she might not be able to because of the nut thing, and also it might not be her style. But I always thought that this would be a good day, and I think that this is a good day, especially depending on who you are. But if you're a guy who like quote unquote seems like he's cool, there's a lot to be gained from doing like a not that cool date. If it's unclear if you're cool or not, you have to do something cool. But if you are cool,
How do you get? So you're just assessing yourself.
how do you gauge your own coolness?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that I'm cool enough to pull this off.
But
I'm
how
just-
do you? You know, how does one gauge?
If you think you're a cool guy,
Then you're-
like if you're, I don't know, because dude, you know when you see a hot guy on Instagram trying to look hot, you're like, all right, dude, we can see that you're hot.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
fact that you're acting hot too
yeah, it's such
makes you a
it's-
loser.
No.
Drying
I don't
it
even
up.
think it's not even the acting hot. It's like the insecurity of not being hot when clearly you're hot.
Right.
Like,
It's like we get it. You're hot.
You're a good looking guy. Like just look at Charmel's Instagram. I'd say picture perfect of a guy who just knows he's hot, who doesn't have to try too hard on the IG.
I like
You know,
Sure, okay.
has clever captions, clever enough.
I'm all about
and
the
just good
captions.
pictures out
He's a
there.
man of
you know?
substance.
He doesn't
Thank
have
you.
like the fake the thousands of followers and the fake everything. You know, he's clean.
And the view's a plus, huh? Substance and the view's a plus.
I have almost 1,000 followers.
Oh yeah,
by
and
way.
the view is a plus. Oh, do you? You almost said K yet?
We're getting close.
Let's get him.
You're
Let's get
racking
him to
them up, pal.
1,000, bro.
Follow me, Pat M. Charmel.
There you
Pat
go.
Charmel, dude.
And just quickly, sorry, since Pat was interjecting there, let us know what you're thinking. Like, subscribe, comment. Ted Jones World Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow us on Ted Jones World on Instagram. But
Hey, bro,
Giulio,
you gotta
sorry,
let me-
go ahead.
you gotta
Let me
tell you
finish.
the date.
I mean, go ahead.
Sorry,
I'll let you
sorry.
finish. Go
So
ahead.
I think that if you want to think of some cool date, you're going out with if you're going out, actually, you know what? I rephrased my whole thing that I just said before.
Okay.
If you're going out with a really hot girl, okay? Hot girl. These girls who are like super smoking hot in these cool cities, they've done all the cool shit.
Yeah.
If you do something a little like ratchet with them, it's potentially sick. So I think, and again, shout out to Adam, old therapist, for thinking of this, but he's like, dude, this is what you should do. Go to Chinatown, get like some kind of bubble tea situation, spike it with alcohol, go to some like weird deep cut Chinese restaurant, and then go get foot rubs while drinking your spiked iced teas or whatever, Chinese tea.
That sounds cool, but like I feel like that's a very descriptive type of like. I feel like one of our friends who's like into anime, like Andy Brand, might like that.
Fair enough, but I'm telling you, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, but if you go out with some super hot girl who guys are always hitting her up, doing stuff, she's never gone on that date.
She's always trying.
She's
to
always
be
getting
impressed
taken to
by
the
you.
cool restaurant and
And the
shit.
guy's always
Yeah.
picking up the tab. Can you go Dutch too with these girls?
I think
maybe?
first date you don't. I think it would be okay if you did, but I think it's nice to step up to the plate, pay the first couple times, and then you can start going Dutch. Maybe.
Right. Comedy show though. Also, what do you think's can you give us a comedy show that you'd recommend? Maybe a night or maybe a time, a place that somebody should check out.
You know, I don't think a comedy
you know
show
what
is
I
a
think-
good first date. Though.
You know what? I disagree. I feel like I've heard that really just loosens everything up in terms of you have something to talk with the next day with that date. Like, oh, this show is so funny. This person was funny. Then you have something to talk about just in the future.
But you don't get to
And-
talk a lot during the date.
That's
Right,
the
but
thing. You
doesn't that
can't
break
talk
the-
during the date.
But I feel like it breaks the ice in terms of like, okay, you're looking like you're trying to do an activity, something like that.
I'll tell you
No,
a-
dude, I haven't been. I don't know.
I'll
I
tell
can't
you a
remember
story.
the last
I
time
don't
I
think so.
freaking went on.
I went to
date.
Comedy Cellar for a first date, and if you've ever been there, I'm sure both of you have. You know how like some of the seats are benches, and then so basically we sat in on the bench. So to turn, you have to, like I had to turn this way to see the stage, and she's sitting to my left. So like every time I wanted to like react to a joke
God,
and
you
see,
had to
I
do
had
a
to
full
turn around
180.
and be like, that was
Yeah,
funny, right?
that's awkward.
And then look back at the stage. It was so bad. It was so
It's
bad.
dude. Tell us about your workout class date.
Oh, that is a good story.
Charmel has good date stories.
I have so many, and I've gone on a date in Chinatown with a girl that was very attractive and who I thought would appreciate that, and I think she did. Anyway,
He's just flexing too.
yeah, I know, right?
She was very attractive. All right, tell us about this. Tell us about this.
Okay,
this workout date.
Okay, do you want the whole story? I'll try and
Cut
go
it down.
quick. We got time. We got time.
Cut it down.
So I DM'd this girl on Instagram. I didn't know who she was. She's a model, so I'll just say it. She's a model. I had no connection to her whatsoever. She came up on like the homepage. I was like, whatever. This is actually funny. So there's this one line I use, and I'm not going to say it, but interestingly enough, I got it from your co-host of your podcast, Giulio,
Hilarious.
of a line that he said he used a lot.
Shut up.
And I saw it on a video, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want anyone stealing the line because it works so
And
well.
you're going to continue to use
This is
it?
not
I'm
from
gonna
our
continue-
podcast, though, right?
No, it's not from your podcast.
It's
It's
from
from a
before.
couple years ago.
Okay.
Hilarious.
So I've been using that forever. It's if they respond, like they pretty much always respond. Anyway, it's great.
What the hell is this line?
So
I'm going to ask him, dude. I'll find out.
So I'll say it now just for the context of the story, but I'm going to cut it out. This is not going on the air.
Wait. So where are we cutting?
I'll do it. It's fine.
Okay.
So the line is, what do you think of edible arrangements? Good gift or too much fruit? ?
That's insane.
That's an
I think you
insane-
tell me
Yeah,
that.
it's
That's
so good.
insane.
It's so good. It's so unbecoming, and it's not like, hey, what's up?
Right.
And it's not like,
Fuck, I do that every time.
So anyway, it's. I hope she doesn't listen to this. I don't think she will, but she's Russian, and she she responded with, I'll put it up on the screen. She said, "Make this, and Russians will love you." And it's like this. It's this like mosh posh of like mashed potatoes and like sausage. It's like an edible arrangement of meat.
Ew,
it was so disgusting, and I was like, I'm gonna make it. So I swear to God, I made this thing.
Shut up.
I like went to Whole Foods and got this shit. And I made it.
You didn't even buy it like pre-made?
No,
You
I
had to
made. There's
make
no
this-
pre-made
this Russian delicacy.
So I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you actually did that." And I was like, "Well, you have to hang out. Like, let's do something now." I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but she was like, "Fine." She said she doesn't drink, so I'm like, she doesn't do any. She's like, kind of like brushing me off a little bit. Then finally, she's like, "Okay, I'm going to a workout class next week. You can come." Basically like that.
yeah.
It wasn't even like you should come. It was like you can come. Like I'm throwing this guy a bone since he made an idiot of himself.
Her sending you on this like treasure hunt is
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah.
Dude. Making him do tasks.
Yeah, exactly. So I show up to this. It's Switch Playground.
The hardest class
It's
ever.
so hard, and it's you basically. If you guys don't know, the people who are listening, it's basically like a circuit workout where you do like legitimately 30 different stations and like 2 or 3 minutes at each station. But it's like burpees and like jump squats and like treadmill and all this crazy shit. So I was going all out in front of this girl. Like you can go at your own pace, but I was like trying to impress this girl. So I was going all out. I swear to God, three stations in, I thought I was going to throw up. I thought I was going to have to walk out. I thought I was going to just have to like make a fool of myself and just walk out. And she had all her other like really attractive model friends with her. It was
Were
like
you guys partners? Station partners?
We were station
Oh my
partners.
God, what?
It was very
what?
intimidating. When I first walked in, I was like, I can't believe I did this. All my friends, I was texting my friends, they're like, don't do it. Like you should not do this. Teddy said don't do it.
Yeah.
fucking
Teddy
ambush.
said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said no.
Everyone
go.
in our text group
But
was
it
like,
sounded,
no.
but it sounded like you
Anyway,
were
I did
fine.
it and I got through it, and we ended up going on another date, but it was like, I don't know, I couldn't really gauge the situation. So
Right, but
it's
at
up
least
in the air
you
now.
got at least you got a little bit more fit than you would have. You
Yeah.
pushed yourself a little bit further.
Then we played volleyball for our next date. She just like doesn't drink. She
Do
doesn't.
you guys hang out still? Do you end up hooking up?
No, I like we respond to like each other's like Instagram stories every now and then.
I
but
mean,
it's not,
that's
like,
how it is these days, though.
That's
I don't even have her
Severance
number. I
package.
talked to her on like the Russian version of WhatsApp. It's like
WhatsApp.
it don't have WhatsApp. It's a new Russian app. It's just
What's
like
it called?
it's secure. Telegram.
Telegram.
It's like the secure because you know how like WhatsApp is not secure.
Oh, I think I have that.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Some Russian guy invented
It's
it.
the blue one. It's
a little
it's not
paper
Signal.
airplane. No.
Does it look like Giulio's microphone or my microphone?
Giulio's.
I hope you guys like the microphone choices today. Giulio actually picked his own color. Is that navy blue? That's not navy blue. That's
This is
aqua
royal blue.
Royal blue. You're right. And this is teal. Correct?
I believe so. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
Well, so let's go on to the next. Let's go on to the next topic. I am actually almost moving fully. I think in my mouth. Not quite there, but my food is my food intake is improving. I'm being able to eat more and more foods, which is nice. Chewing is getting there. So I've had 2 bananas today. And dude, how do you eat a banana when you go about eating a banana?
That's an interesting question.
You know, because I've seen memes on Instagram, and I've heard people freaking out about guys just taking a banana fully to the mouth without like breaking it or splitting it into a few pieces. How do you feel about eating a banana?
They just eat the whole. They like put the whole piece as one in their mouth.
Is that weird? I don't think that's weird.
How is that even possible?
Well, no.
You mean you take a bite out of it?
I'm not talking about sticking the entire banana down your throat. I'm talking about putting like a good amount of the banana in your mouth
and biting it.
Yeah, and
that's
then biting
very
it.
normal.
All right, good. I just didn't want to.
Bananas, nature's perfect fruit, dude.
I split my bananas in 2, so I just wanted to see where you were at because
I eat them with peanut butter.
I do sometimes do that.
So and when I do that, I usually will take it out and then maybe just like smear a little peanut butter on it as I go. It's a good snack.
That is a good snack.
Nice nutritious treat. Teddy's 30 days out from being able to chomp on Jawbreakers.
I am. 30, I don't know, maybe 45 to 60, but we'll see. We'll get a Jawbreaker on here.
In 2020, this kid's gonna be sucking down Jawbreakers.
We'll see. But also one thing that has gone down is my alcohol intake since I've had this this jam up of a jaw surgery situation. How about you, man? You've been drinking a little bit recently, or what? So do you find that in the comedy world it's kind of hard not to be drinking when you're at these shows when typically they're giving you free drinks? Or the option at least at every show.
Sometimes, but at the same, I mean, you kind of at this point, if I go to like last night, I had a show and there were drink tickets and I didn't drink. Like it was not difficult at all.
Yeah,
but it was definitely it gets easier maybe as you go. But then some nights if you have a great show and it's a whole thing, then it's very hard to not drink after.
Definitely,
you're like feeling great, whatever. But I also don't think that's bad. It's fun. Like I enjoy drinking.
Very true.
It's a good time. Me and you used to toss them back in the day.
Right. I know, man. But I feel like that's when we both got way less hurt after a few Cocker Spaniels. You know what I mean? you and I would throw back anywhere from, I don't want to say a number, but definitely a lot more than one would consider double digits in drinks per night.
I don't know. Dude. I think I'm at the same level of being banged up if I'm drinking. Like
as you were a few years ago. Like you haven't gotten worse.
Nah.
I feel like I have gotten worse to the point where it's just like if I drink, then I'm definitely feeling it the next day.
Well, I mean, I definitely feel it, but I think I have always felt it. Except for maybe when I was way younger. Like it could be one of those things where by the end of the day I felt good again. Like it's always I've been used to the sort of 2-day process of hangovers for a while.
It takes 2 days.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
It's, by the time you're 25, 26, it becomes a 2-day thing.
Yeah.
Someone said something funny. I forget what comedian said this. I thought this was hilarious. He's like, Sean Donnelly said this. He's like, he's like, first, in your 20s, you bounce right back. In your 30s, it takes a couple days to get over it. He's like, but when you're in your 40s, he's like, you take it with you for the rest of your life.
Could actually be funny, true. Man. I feel like I'm kind of on the way.
And there's no like actual hangover cure. Everyone says like these hangover cures. Like,
it's all bullshit.
You have to go to sleep and wake up the next day, and that's the only way it goes.
It's called
away.
drink less.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to sleep and wake up the next day. Yeast.
I've been chasing the cure forever, man.
Yeah,
and
there's nothing.
And people will be like, dude, I got the cure. And they'll be like, you drink this pre-workout with your first drink. You drink water in between each drink. Like none of that shit works, dude.
Drinking water. I think
I take these electrolyte pills. That helps make it less worse. But once you have the hangover, there's nothing to.
Once you're 8 deep, I think you're pretty screwed.
I'm healthy, bro.
Charmel taking electrolyte pills.
Charmellington yeast.
Joe Millington.
Okay, so let's talk about
IVs help too, by the way.
Yeah.
If you got the cash to cough up.
So, Giulio, I mentioned earlier, actually, in the beginning of the episode, rather, that we have this sort of weird language. I'm sure people don't really understand what the heck I'm talking about. But something just as simple as yes. We had originally, I think, when we fully revamped our friendship, kind of. We've known each other for, 12, 15 years. But we started to become really close again, like 4.5 years ago.
Bro, it's funny. There's like a very specific defining moment where we became very good friends.
Right.
And then we were just talking every day and hanging out all the time.
That was insane.
Texting
every single day.
We were in a group
Our
text.
texts are at least 1 million right now. We were in a group text.
Right.
Who was in the group? Who's in that group text?
No free promotion.
Oh yeah, literally no free promotion over here. So let us know if you want to freaking give us an ad. There you go with the freaking no curses here.
Dude, yes, like for example, Teddy and I language. He knows exactly what I mean when I say Dodo chain.
Yeah.
Dodo chain.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was
you know who I'm talking. It's a person.
That was like a girl I was talking to for oh my god, dude, like a second. That's her last name. Dodo Chain. All right. But anyway, so like we instead of yeast, so this is basically how like we formed a slew of words from just one word, basically, and it just conjugated.
Here we go.
Yeah. So we start off with yes, yeast, east, Keith, Kaith, Coith. Goith, egoith, egoche, WH goche, della goche, WH foche, EWH foche. Just to start.
I don't think I've heard that one.
How we start with we start now. We can refer things to. No, we just refer things to as like being Robert, like.
What's the W thing?
W. Just go W.
That's actually
There's a lot of like fringe words too.
Our nickname for my
there's
girlfriend.
definitely a lot of friends.
There's a lot of friends.
Yeah, Giulio's girlfriend's nickname is W.
It's D and W.
Yeah, D and W. It's just insane. But anyway, referring to everything as Robert. So Robert is
which means it's like good.
Yeah, it's good. It's driver. It's just Bert.
It's Bert.
Yeah, so that's where we're at with that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so
dude, we should talk. We should have a conversation to prove to people that yes,
clones. Just make up names too, like Jim Blue. Anyway, we have a whole friggin' book of this dumb stuff and like lists and all this stuff. If you want to hear it, just email us at tedjonesworld@gmail.com, dude. All right, this was an absolutely nuts podcast. Anybody have anything else they want to talk about here, or anything that they want to share with the rest of the guests on the podcast? Perhaps.
Got anything you want to plug, Giulio?
Before we plug anything, what's the deal? Yeah, let me put my butt in here again. What's the deal with Ethan, man? So he made us bring all these things over here for you, and you're not even using it. We got the water, we got the sanitizer. Yeah, we did, bro.
Are you serious?
We were listening to Ethan. Yeah, Pat took it very seriously. So go take a little squirt of that hand sanitizer.
You wanted
take a sip of that water.
You wanted the hot girl water.
pH levels up.
Highest, largest size bottle.
I apologize for this because this isn't even sealed. They fucking filled up. You pieces of shit.
Jeez, you found that out so fast.
Teddy was like, he won't notice.
I was like, dude, just fill it up.
100% notice.
Yeah. I knew as soon as it hit your lips, you know, but I didn't think that we not seal it correctly. Jesus.
I'm glad that you guys didn't get it because I obviously don't have a rider for going over Teddy's. That's hilarious. Ethan playing it by the book. I mean, I'm nice to him. I've seen people be really mean to their assistants.
We asked him. It wasn't like we asked him for a rider as like a joke, and he was we were gonna like make it a thing, like and see what you had on your quote unquote rider.
What else do I have on there?
It was
Red Bull.
I'll look it up. Hold on.
Snacks. No nuts, which I'm glad he said that because.
So Giulio, while Pat's doing this, you got anything in the pipeline we should all be excited about as fans? Giulio Gallarotti over here, by the way, Instagram handle and Twitter handle, not Julio. One of his boys, also one of my very close boys. I follow him on IG, Lil Young Big.
Check out
rapper out of West Virginia. True homie to me, like family. Giulio, but anyway, you got anything like Pat said you want to plug, bro? What's good? What's going on with you? Anything exciting?
Yeah, well, our Fat Baby show, which we've been doing for years, just a comedy show I do with a bunch of my friends. We're doing it, and then it's going to be in the New York Comedy Festival again.
Sick.
Which I'm excited about.
Very cool.
It's going to be November 9th at midnight, and then we're going to have a little after party. It should be really fun.
And this is at
the Stand Comedy Club and Restaurant.
And do we have the address for that? Or
it's on 16th Street between Irving and Union Square. If you just go online, look up Stand Comedy Club.
Union Square West, I believe.
Union Square East.
Union Square East.
So yeah, there's that. My podcast called Oops. I'm working on developing something right now as well that I like. I guess I can't talk about. I don't know. I just don't want to jinx it, to be honest. I could talk about it, but I don't want to jinx it. So yeah, so I got some cool shit going on. Hopefully, things continue to go well, and yeah.
Nice, bro. And Giulio and I actually, we've worked on a few things together, but one thing we worked on recently was The Face. So if you get a chance, check that out. That's
a good sketch.
On my Instagram at tedjonesworld.com and Ted Jones World Podcast, and it is actually on YouTube as well. Pat, what do you got over there for the rider for Giulio?
Okay, so it says hi all below. See rider for Giulio Gallarotti for the podcast schedule 10-8. 1 Coca-Cola Celsius, which I've never heard of.
Oh yeah,
that's the new one.
Yeah, so I changed it because Red Bull's starting to make me feel like shit. P.S. I got an EKG today. My fucking ticker's my ticker's pumping. I swear a lot. I'm sorry. I need to. I should work on that. But yeah, but Celsius makes me feel better, and it also is delicious.
You ever had Bang? That everyone's freaking out about that Bang. I've never had it.
It looks not great.
I see it all over like social media.
Yeah, because I feel like all the IG girl models are
sucking down Bang.
Yeah, and posting about it.
It's funny that you mentioned that. Actually, we're making a video about that.
Well, sorry for spoiling.
No,
it's fine. You didn't tell us it was in the pipeline.
No, that doesn't matter. But all right, what else is on there?
One essential pH. He said essential, but it's Essentia.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know that until like 2 weeks ago.
I think I actually knew it was called Essentia, not Essential. Anyway,
yeah, 1 essential pH water. The largest size was specifically.
Thank you, Ethan.
And then we have healthy snacks. Parentheses excluding nuts. Giulio's girlfriend has a severe allergy,
which she does.
Thank you. Good job, Ethan. That's 3 for 3.
1 raspberry emergency packet.
You can't be too safe out there.
Yeah, exactly. It's flu season. It's coming up.
Yeah,
you guys gotten your flu shots, or are you anti-vaxxers?
No.
I haven't got one for a couple of years.
I'll get one. You haven't? And you guys haven't gotten the flu?
I have not.
No, I always seem to get more sick when I get. That's such a like
fallacy. Right?
Yeah,
I might get one. I don't know.
I think I get one every year.
But when you travel a lot, man, it fucks up your.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it does.
When you travel, it's fine. When you travel a lot, it messes up your immune system. So like you got to try to keep the immune system going because I kind of do travel a lot.
Yeah, and you'll get dehydrated. So take your electrolyte pills.
And also keep drinking that pH water.
Yeah.
One small. What does it say? One small bike. I think it's supposed to say bottle. 1 small bottle of unopened hand sanitizer, any size. He doesn't want secondhand hand sanitizer. He wants a brand new hand sanitizer.
Well, he's got it.
Yeah, no, that one was opened, but
it says aloe in it too. I appreciate that.
Yeah, soothe your skin. Squirt. And that's it.
See, yeah, I'm easy.
Not too diva.
I'm easy.
Yeah,
pretty standard.
I don't want like when I'm in green rooms and stuff. I don't want a ton of food because like just sit there and snack on food.
Definitely.
Typically, I try to have them. I want them
sweaty.
They bring a bottle of booze for me too, but I try to get them to bring it after I get off.
What's your go-to booze?
Tequila.
Yeah,
although everybody has been telling me they're like they were drinking vodka, then they switched to tequila, and now that they've gone back to vodka, they don't have bad hangovers anymore. And I wonder if there's any value to that.
It's got it's the what's the plant that tequila is made of? Agave. Yeah, that's like a sweetener, right? They use that as a sweetener, so I think there's like more natural sugar in tequila, so that might make the hangover a little worse.
Really?
I could be making that up.
I think that they're equally like they don't impact you equally.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. Because that would be like saying Coca-Cola is cocaine, like what people used to say in elementary school.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I thought it used to be made mostly of cocaine.
I don't think
there was cocoa leaves in it, but it wasn't actual cocaine.
The same way that just because it's made of agave doesn't make it sugary. But I see what you're saying.
True. No,
the same alcohol proof though, and all that stuff, and also they're both gluten free.
Yeah,
if you're drinking a good one,
it's true.
I don't know.
Okay,
we should look more into that.
All right,
I'll do a case study.
The scene. Well, anyway, this was the Fireside Chat with Giulio Gallarotti. Fireside we are naming because we have a very chic fireplace here on this set that you can't see, and
that
unfortunately doesn't turn on. But it is mixed in with the exposed brick. And I guess just before we wrap up here, Giulio Gallarotti, thank you so much for coming.
It's been a pleasure.
So do we need to let Charmel in on anything just before we end this podcast?
I don't think
so.
Or
no, you don't think we need to?
No, I don't.
All right, I'm gonna have to spill the beans to him on here. Charmel, Ethan's not who you think he is.
Yeah, I knew that.
What? What do you mean?
What do you mean you knew that? What do you mean?
What do you mean? Well,
why
don't you go? Why don't you? Is that what you're going to tell me?
I mean, I was going to elaborate, but then you had spoken. So
okay, well, no, just I didn't think Ethan was a real person.
Why not?
Because when we were working on the face, like the email text back.
Wait,
video
yes,
of the
dude,
face.
if you want, you can look at my. I haven't touched my phone. You can look at my text with it.
I got email. I got
Look at
the.
them?
He was on the email chain, and I was like, first of all, no offense if he's real, but Ethan Wexler sounds like a made up name. First of all,
what
and
email
second of all,
chain? What email chain are you referring
when
to?
we were doing the face, when we were making the face, I was
Right,
Teddy was helping, or Giulio was helping me edit, or
Yeah.
I was helping him edit,
Yeah.
basically. And we had like an email chain going on. And it was like from the desk of Giulio Gallarotti was like and I was like, there's no way, like,
I
there's
told him
no
to
way
chill out
his
with
like.
that.
Right.
He's trying to be
taking
all-
it
That
too- just being
response,
too
that response makes
professional.
me even more.
Dude, you want to read our?
So I told Teddy, I was like, "There's no." I thought it was a joke. I was like, I was gonna respond and be like, "Haha." Just sounds like a fake name.
You want to see
me.
the text? Here.
I mean, he does have text here.
I mean, you just called him live, so
I know.
mean, if there is a person on the other
Do you want
end,
to see the text?
because then you called him once. You were
Here,
like, "What's
here,
my
here,
password to this?" I was like, "What?"
Here, I just threw him the phone over there. He's
You
taking
can
a
read the
look at
text.
the blue and the gray text itself. True bubbles on both sides.
Okay, yeah.
What? Just very
He
generic
exists.
text.
So what were you? I'm confused now.
What do you mean you're confused?
Jesus Christ.
That was
Easy
a
with
good
the phone,
catch,
guys. They're
bro.
fucking-
It's like
they're
samurai talk.
Hucking this thing across the room.
You got that durable case.
Yeah, you
just
do.
said.
The Giulio just
so-
got an OtterBox.
So
by the
Ethan
way.
is not who he says. What do you mean? You just said it's not who you think he is.
I mean, are any of us who we think they are?
All right. Are we ending this? Can we get out of here?
That was Ted Jones World episode 7 with Giulio Gallarotti. Thank you, our co-host over there, Pat Charmel. I'm
great
Ted Jones and Giulio Gallarotti on Instagram, on Twitter at @NotJulio. Thank you very much. And goodbye.
You guys are my boys, dude.